Welcome to the SNN Network Canada virtual event. I'd like to introduce our next presenter, Jennifer McCarron, CEO of Thunderbird Entertainment. Jennifer, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for having me. Thunderbird Entertainment is a high-quality global content company. We create, own, and distribute award-winning factual, animated, and scripted content worldwide. We are well on our way to becoming the next major global studio and have over 250 partnerships such as Netflix, HBO Max, Apple, Disney, Discovery Channel, NBC Universal, and more. Featured here on this slide is our New York Times adapted best-selling book series, Last Kids on Earth. Always on the New York Times top 10 bestseller list. In fact, it was just recently ahead of Diary of a Wimpy Kid and Harry Potter. Number one, it was Last Kids. Last Kids on Earth is currently airing on on Netflix. And our console video games went live on June 4th, and the game is sold out on Amazon. Currently, our interactive special with the Choose Your Own Adventure technology we developed with Netflix is streaming in the top 10 of all Netflix shows, not just kids and family. Last summer, Last Kids on Earth won the Emmy Award for Best Outstanding Special Class Animated Program, and we are so proud of the team. Moving on to our executive summary. Our mission is to create content that makes the world a better place, makes people happy, and provides a much-needed escape, especially during these unprecedented times. A great example of our mission and style of content is Princesses Wear Pants, featured here on this slide. This is another New York Times best-selling book we developed with Savannah Guthrie from the Today Show, Ali Oppenheim, her husband Noah Oppenheim runs NBC News, and Drew Barrymore. This book series is a new take on princesses, featuring diversity, inclusivity, and leadership. It's been set up at a major streamer, which I'm sure you can guess which one, to go head-to-head with Disney's entire princess line. And if this show takes off, as we hope it will, we will be there to benefit from all of these sales for merchandise, gaming, you name it. And I'm sure all of you listening in with young kids understand how popular this genre can be. Last summer, we won the prestigious Peabody Award for our work in diversity and inclusivity, nominated alongside shows you may recognize like Stranger Things, Succession, Fleabag. And the Peabody honors the most powerful, enlightening, and invigorating stories of the year. Recently, our studio also won the Kids Screen Award for Best Inclusivity, and BC Business voted our company #1 in the entire province for diversity and inclusivity. Our goal is for every man, woman, child of every gender and ethnicity to see themselves in popular content reflected back in a positive light. Not only is this the right thing to do, it is proving to be extremely good for business. We are well on our way to being recognized as a major global studio, and never has there been a better time to be in the content creation business. We're a MicroCap company with revenue of over $110 million, increasing 40% in fiscal year 21, and EBITDA of over $19.5 million, increasing over 26% in fiscal year 21, and we're growing. We have free cash flow of over $12.3 million, and this is a 68% year-over-year increase with zero corporate debt. Additionally, we just released our Q1 results on November 24th and are proud to report revenue of $35.1 million, a 77% year-over-year increase, adjusted EBITDA of $6.3 million, a 31% year-over-year increase, and we have 27 shows in production, 12 of which are IP or partner managed. Our award-winning team of 1,000 artists is based in Los Angeles, Vancouver, Ottawa, and Toronto. And last summer alone, in addition to the Peabody and the Emmy, we won a Television Critics Award. Fast Company added Thunderbird Entertainment to its list of 2020's most innovative companies to watch, and we're on Canadian Business Magazine's list of fastest-growing companies. Our extensive library continues to generate recurring revenue for us from names such as Kim's Convenience, Da Vinci's Code, Beatbugs, Game of Homes, and more. And with new alliances with toy and gaming companies, we're further able to leverage our IP and content into the world of merchandise, gaming, microtransactions, which will open up new and hopefully very lucrative revenue streams for the company. The two main drivers of our company are Atomic Cartoons, our kids and family division, with shows like Beatbugs, Last Kids on Earth, Hello Ninja, just announced Dogs in Space with Netflix, My Little Pony with Hasbro, Spider-Man with Disney Plus, and more. And Great Pacific Media, our factual and documentary style division, with hits like Highway Through Hell, Save My Reno, newly announced Dead Man's Curse for History Channel, and more. We're positioned in that factual and kids and family are the cornerstone of each streamer's strategy to glue that key co-viewing audience, which is essentially families at home gathering to watch content together. This is the stickiest of all demographics, as people are less likely to subscribe and unsubscribe when kids and family are glued. For example, the kids' hit property CoComelon, with its nursery rhymes, generates over 2 billion views per month on YouTube. Netflix saw this and licensed compilations of these videos, which I'm proud to announce that we're producing for Netflix and Moonbug. And stay tuned for some amazing episodes in 22. And they have been one of the 10 most popular shows in one country and other for all but a handful of days this year. In fact, Moonbug just sold to Blackstone for $3 billion with a 15-time multiple because of CoComelon. Contrast this with the successful scripted programming for adults like Bridgerton or Lupin, where the biggest hits are popular for several days and then are eclipsed by the next show. Again, we have zero corporate debt, we're young, we're nimble, and we're growing. Here's a sampling of our customers. We're in over 200 territories, 40 different languages. We're working with all of the top players and have great visibility into our future growth, with work fully booked through 2022, right in visibility right through 24 and beyond. Keeping going here, our scaling and profitability. Here, this slide is looking at the amazing, phenomenal organic growth. And again, we have great visibility of this type of growth right through 24. The picture here is of Lego Star Wars Holiday Special that we developed with Lucasfilm and Lego, and it dropped November 17th on Disney+. Bob Iger sent our team a note saying he couldn't tell the difference between our special and some of the feature film work. As a result of the team's amazing work, we've embarked on a series of projects with Disney and Lucasfilm. And stay tuned for another Disney Plus special, Star Wars Terrifying Tales, which launched in October on Disney Plus, plus more specials to come. Taking a look at our company evolution, we were founded in 2003 with a mission of creating major global brands and libraries to lift and fund IP exploitation. In 2014, Great Pacific Media was acquired, and in 2016, Atomic Cartoons. And the original mission remains very much alive today, as our major global brands delight audiences around the world and are increasingly moving into ancillary business like distribution, consumer products, toys, and video games. Our experienced executive team, Barb, Sarah, and myself, are highly operational. We've all grown up in this industry. Matt and Richard are key to being in LA with the push for IP ownership and ancillary business and an ever-commanding presence in LA, nurturing relationships with all of our key buyers. Taking a more granular look at our divisions, at Atomic Cartoons, we produce high-end content across multiple 2D and 3D pipelines and genres, spanning preschool, comedy, action-adventure, adult, and everything in between. Here on this page is a look at some of our amazing titles, which you'll recognize: Rick and Morty, Lego Jurassic World, Hilda, Curious George, 101 Dalmatians, to name a few. Plus, recently announced CoComelon, more Star Wars Lego, My Little Pony, Dogs in Space, and more. At Atomic Cartoons, we're increasing our IP ownership, providing ancillary revenue in toys, merchandise, music, and gaming. In addition to the partnership I discussed with Savannah Guthrie and Drew Barrymore on Princesses Wear Pants, we have a feature film partnership with writers from The Simpsons that we own, and some really good additional announcements coming. We're also working with Reese Witherspoon's company, Hello Sunshine, who also just sold for Blackstone for an incredible amount. From fame like Big Little Lies to open up their kids and family division, and they found our company because of our emphasis and reputation for producing high-quality content with an emphasis on diversity and inclusivity. At Great Pacific Media, we're a global leader in factual television, widely considered best in class, almost 100% owned, and all of this work takes place in our amazing Vancouver studio. Highway Through Hell is going into its 11th season with more orders to come. On this page, you'll see some of the amazing titles which you may recognize: Save My Reno, Daily Planet, Untold Stories of the ER, just to name a few. New IP recently announced are shows like Styled and Gut Job for Chorus, Dead Man's Curse for History, and What If?, the amazing show with the famous physicist Miku Pichu, which is currently being set up. And Strays, starring Nicole Power from Kim's Convenience fame, just launched this September 14th. Again, we own almost 100% of our remarkable IP and have an almost unbeatable renewal rate. Highway Through Hell is one of the most successfully independently owned unscripted brands in the world, with 2 spin-offs, Rescue 401 and Mud Mountain, which was just renewed for Season 2. Our Consumer Products and Distribution Division. In January of this year, we were thrilled to announce the hire of industry heavyweight Richard Goldsmith. Well regarded as one of the best in the industry, having worked at Disney, Warner Brothers, Jim Henson Company, Richard joined our company because he saw the incredible work taking place. I had many calls that week from Netflix, Disney saying, "Wow, you hired Richard, that's incredible." This new division will allow us to further increase and exploit our IP ownership in video games, merch, all cross-media exploitation, and increase ownership as we distribute content around the globe. Announced properties like Mermicorno from Tokidoki, the insanely popular Japanese lifestyle brand, which is the slide that you see here, will be set up under this division. And instead of hiring a third-party consumer products and distribution company, we will be able to further increase and leverage ownership for Thunderbird. Additionally, we can now serve as a distributor and consumer products agent for other companies requiring this expertise, further opening up a new and lucrative line of business for us. We see this as completely synergistic with our own productions. Our world-class talent. As a content creation company, we're absolutely nothing without the amazing talent and creative force that we work with. People have joined Thunderbird from Disney, DreamWorks, National Geographic, Pixar, just to name a few. They're coming to Thunderbird because they see something special happening and want to be part of this amazing journey that we're on. Our response to COVID. This slide's of note because in March of 2020, we managed to successfully transition 100% of staff to home without missing a beat or any deliveries. At a time when other companies may have stumbled, we didn't miss one delivery. The team did an incredible job. We didn't create any cost overages for any of our partners, which they've all noted, only deepening their trust in us as a high-quality, high-integrity studio. We are compliant with Tier 1 security, such as Disney's, and in a time where live action still can't reliably, work, it's expensive getting all 200 people on set with COVID testing and shutdowns and whatnot. Our 2 main drivers, animation and factual, can work virtually and have thrived at this time. In fact, our IT and pipeline teams have done such a great job. Last month, Netflix asked our team to present to their team on Teradici and how we've ensured such a safe and efficient workflow. We've increased benefits to our workforce, especially focused on mental health, and are working to do our small part as good corporate citizens to take care of everyone that we can. Additionally, we used to think of our studio by capacity. How many people can we fit into a building? Now, if we're offered a show that we love and have passion for, we can go for it, as we're no longer confined to the 4 studio walls. Drilling in a bit on diversity and inclusion, here at Atomic, we're proud of the shows that highlight characters from diverse backgrounds, like Peabody winner Molly of Denali, on which we worked with over 60 Indigenous actors, writers, and producers from Denali and Alaska, many of which are now working full-time in the industry today. We continue to focus on a safe and healthy workforce, keeping diversity and inclusion at the forefront of our culture. Featured here are some of the many initiatives that we have underway. We strive to be industry leaders in D&I, and not only is it the right thing to do, it's very good for business. A Boston Consulting Group study of more than 1,700 companies from around the world showed that diversity increases the capacity for innovation by expanding the range of a company's ideas and options, leading to better financial performance. Of the 1,700 companies, those reporting above average diversity on their management teams had EBITDA margins that were 9 percentage points higher than those companies with below average diversity. With our newfound ability to have crew work from home, we are further able to recruit and offer opportunities to diverse talent. We are now able to hire people who may not be able to move to one of the cities in which we're located. Thanks to work from home tech boom, we can remove geography as a barrier to diversification. At Great Pacific, industry-wide, we're proud to be known as a safe place to work. Currently, our staff is 40% female, 50% male, and 10% gender fluid. Content is a way to change the narrative and force the messaging of diversity and inclusivity. And as content providers, we have a responsibility to get this right. Diversity wins. This slide is illustrating the likelihood of financial outperformance when gender and ethnic diversity is high on leadership teams. The most diverse and inclusive companies are now more likely than ever to outperform less diverse peers. when it comes to profitability. Taking a look at our industry landscape, 2020 was a transformative year for television and film industry. Demand was strong before, and I'm sure most of you listening in have crushed more streaming channels than you ever thought possible. It definitely helped me with homeschooling over the last years and a break from the somewhat depressing news cycle. In fact, Netflix had 89 million subscribers in 2016 and are predicting 374 million by 2027. Disney's topped more than 100 million just 16 months after they launched, already beating their 3-year projections and are predicting 260 million subscribers by 2024. Content spending has reached new heights. These are published commitments to content spending from Disney, Comcast, Amazon, Hulu, Discovery, and Netflix, and more through 2022, and it's huge. Netflix alone commissions more than 1,000 pieces of original programming a year, and budgets continue to grow. At a time when content is king and streamers have to constantly refresh their sites to glue subscribers, budgets are booming. Thunderbird's winning the boom in content as we've always kept quality as our North Star, and streamers are willing to pay as only the highest quality of content will stand out and succeed. Kids content is a key driver for new growth. It's crushing it. 3 of the top 15 shows across streaming platforms have been children's series. And look at the trajectory of this graph. Of course, we don't want kids glued all the time to screens, which is why we continue to focus on healthy, entertaining content where kids can pick up some great value systems and see themselves again reflected back in a positive light. Industry drivers. Much of this I've touched on, but the headline is this. The industry is on fire, booming, and growth is coming from countries all around the world, not just North America. Thunderbird's uniquely positioned with our strong relationships and incredible reputation to fully capitalize on this exploding growth curve. And the new players coming online are not startups. These are major players like Apple and Disney, because they see success of Netflix and what a massively lucrative and exciting business it is. They are here to stay. And people are at home watching content. This is not going to change. Recently, Disney released the Marvel movie Black Widow simultaneously in theaters and on Disney+. Grossed over $215 million in its first weekend with strong showings on both large and small screens. Domestically, it earned $80 million in theaters and $60 million in rentals. This hybrid strategy allowed for those viewers in areas with COVID concerns to enjoy the opening weekend experience at home and is paving the way to make this the new norm. As previously noted, also, kids and family programming stays in the top 10 list of streamers longer. Kids don't move to the next thing as quickly. This type of programming has longevity on streaming platforms. Now on to our financial overview. The business models. I really love this slide as it breaks down the business of Thunderbird. We have 3 main buckets: IP, service, and partnership. IP, we keep the copyright. It lives in our library forever, and we can monetize it, distribution, toys, video games, forevermore. We get paid upon delivery. Services, we get hired to do a show. We get paid throughout, plus a healthy profit fee. And when we do a great job in service, like 101 Dalmatians or Spider-Man or Donald Duck before that, we can turn around and sell more of our own content. The partnership model we're increasingly seeing, this is when we're hired to execute on absolutely everything from stem to stern. Hello Ninja is a great example. Streamers need to turn on so much content they can't handle it internally. Companies like ours can do everything tip to tail. And a result of that heavy lifting, we get paid an increased profit margin, plus we have ownership in any cross-media exploitation, toys, video games, you name it. Our library, substantial additional library from shows like Cold Squad and Da Vinci's Inquest adds nicely to our total revenues. These titles are distributed around the world and add to our healthy cash flow with international library sales and music publishing. Tax incentives. A wonderful part of being a Canadian domiciled company are the incredible tax incentives that have been around for well over 30 years. A new bill introduced in November of 2020 by the Canadian government requires streamers to invest in and buy a certain percentage of Canadian content. Streamers will go with their trusted partners like Thunderbird. As a result, this will just further allow us to turn on more of our own IP. Essentially, up to 50% of a Canadian resident's salary will be covered by the government. This allows us to put higher quality on the screen and present high-quality, compelling budgets to broadcasters that are impossible to say no to. Our condensed balance sheet. Again, our cash position is strong. We have zero debt, and these updates are through year-end of June 30th and Q1 of 22. Our condensed income statement. Revenue, again, was over $111 million compared to $81 million in fiscal year 20, and revenue, EBITDA, and free cash flow to continue to increase. Q1 fiscal 22 revenue was $35.1 million, 77% year-over-year increase. Trading information and capital structure. Again, our corporate debt is nothing. We're nimble and able to be opportunistic in these times. We have a large contingent of dedicated insider ownership who believe in and champion our story. And we're just 1 year into our IR journey with Bristol, and we're thrilled to finally be getting our amazing story out to the world. Growth opportunities. This is my favorite slide. Where are we going? We're continuing to develop and acquire IP with over 50 projects coming up through our various pipelines. There's some really good announcements coming. Again, this IP can be leveraged into all forms of recurring revenue, like microtransactional games, mobile games, console games, toys, bed sheets, ice skating shows, you name it. Our presence in LA continues to expand due to unprecedented demand from the streamers. Being in LA gives us access to top talent in the heart of the industry. Being able to execute in Canada at top levels is an unbeatable proposition. When we opened in Burbank in February of 2020, our studio was booked for 3 years. We're expanding into animated feature films. I mentioned the partnership with The Simpsons. There's a huge market for this now. In fact, Reed Hastings, CEO of Netflix, credits increased fourth quarter earnings that beat analyst expectations on revenue and net subscriber additions on the power of the family movie. We're opening up, as you know, our consumer products and distribution division in LA, and this has only allowed us to further increase ownership and our ability to leverage and exploit top-tier IP. Increasing presence in territories around the world, like Southeast Asia and Europe, where Netflix and Disney have recently announced they're focusing on gaining new subscribers. By having ownership in these areas, we can recognize the content and run it through our burgeoning consumer products and distribution division. M&A is always on our minds. We don't need to because we've got great organic growth, but we're looking to see how can we complement our existing business with something accretive. How are consumers watching content? How do we use M&A to become the next major global studio? What is strategic? We don't need to do a roll-up strategy for the sake of getting bigger. GPM and Atomic have hit their stride, and we're well on the lookout now for the next growth area for Thunderbird. In summary, we're rapidly growing, highly profitable, with greater than $19 million of adjusted EBITDA in fiscal year 20, 40% revenue increase, 26% EBITDA increase, 68% year-over-year increase to free cash flow, and zero corporate debt. Our recently reported Q1 revenue was $35.1 million, 77% year-over-year increase. Adjusted EBITDA of $6.3 million in this last quarter, 31% year-over-year increase. And again, we have 27 shows in production, 12 of which are IP or partner managed. Increasing ownership in major global brands is incredibly lucrative. The reason that Hasbro bought E1 for $5 billion was because of Peppa the Pig and PJ Masks. The reason Blackstone just bought Moonbug for $3 billion was Coco Melon. The value of these brands is massive. Never has there been a better time to be in content, and I believe never has there been a better company than Thunderbird to capitalize on this amazing time and become the next major global studio. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go to the Q&A now. And a good question here. What is your vision for the company in the next 12 months? Where would you like to be? That's a great question. In the next 12 months, I want to be closer to our goal of becoming a major global studio. I'd like great, fiscal growth, some more IP, some more hits. We've got great visibility organically and just continue on this trajectory. And everything we do, we say every show we do, we want to stand on the shoulders of the last one, constantly improving, getting better at what we do, increasing the reputation, and we are well on our way. I believe I'm going to check again, see if there's any more questions. Don't see any, but if you'd like to reach out to me directly, please do anytime. Love hearing from people and happy to set up one-on-ones following the presentation. Thank you so much.